Jeff Winter's story continues, The Harry Years, Chapter 2. The exploding popularity of computer games in the UK and a wide open playing field for software entrepreneurs was a massive window of opportunity for a talented, prolific designer like Jeff Minter. Llamasoft was about to hit its stride. Without tea, there would be no Llamasoft, no coding, and indeed no British software business at all. The lines of code flow out upon a river of tea. This marvellous substance lubricates and stimulates the synapses and helps them to fire in a manner conducive to the generation of practical and robust code, says Jeff Minter. On to the games then. Abductor, a simple shooting game with elements drawn from several of the arcade games that Jeff loved. Abductor for the VIC-20 tasked players with shooting down spiraling waves of extraterrestrials while protecting a row of humans at the bottom of the screen from alien abduction. That's what it looked like. Oh, I like this. You can rotate it all around in the zoom and everything. And you can play it. You can bring up the original instructions and all that stuff. Controls, this keyboard or controller here, it's very simple controls, you just left, right and fire. You've got to protect the humans down the bottom. Quite playable, and it's fast. You got saved. You got saved. Yeah, that's a doctor. Lost one. Da-da-da! There's only one guy left to protect. high score of 9260. Quite playable. Jeff visited London in September 1982 to find the city plastered in posters for the then new film Blade Runner. He didn't see the movie at that time, but the game got him thinking. The name got him thinking. Before long, the phrase Gridrunner popped into his head. Now he just needed a game to go with it. The successor to the VIC-20, the Commodore 64 would become one of the most popular computing platforms in the world in the 1980s. Jay, founder of Llamasoft's US publishing Hezware, gave Jeff one of these machines shortly after its US release before it was released in the UK. Here is the Commodore 64. Here's one I'm familiar with. You'll find a couple of videos of me playing this on the channel. Rock64. Once Jeff got his Commodore 64 set up, he took a break from work on Gridrunner and programmed Rock64 in a single night, just to test out the new machine. This became one of Llamasoft's initial batch of Commodore 64 releases in early 1983. Here it is, Rocks. Yeah, I can spin it, and I can zoom and all that stuff. He also provided this on an old computer and video games magazine where they used to feature type-in listings, because this was written in BASIC. And I told my story elsewhere on a Rock64 video, but I typed it in from Computer and Video Games magazine back in the early days of my Commodore 64 before I even had a dataset unit, and I was not able to save. So I played it for a while, left the Commodore 64 on all night so I could continue to play it the next day. And when I switched the Commodore 64 off, it was lost. You can play it here, Rock64. It's very basic controls. Well, here it's mapped to the controller, so fire left is X. Fire up is Y, and fire right is B. You can also use the keyboard as well. VBN and space for panic. Might be better on the keyboard actually, this one. Let's see here, VBN and VBN. This looks very familiar. It's faster here. Smoother as well. Oh, Moonbase done in. It's faster and smoother. Spacebar for panic. No way. What? Can't let him get too close. Not much time to react to that. You can't let him get too close. This is a lot faster and smoother compared with the original Commodore 64. Not judging it right. It's too close again! This is better. I get hit the panic. I've only got a certain number of those. I missed! Hey, at least I completed one. Once you get the hang of it, this is playable. Written in BASIC, but it's faster and smoother here. I'm not risking it. I've got no panics left. I've used them all up. That was close. Of course, it gets harder over time. Damn it! I've got no panics left. Don't get any back. Oh, no, no! Oh, you! Well, I did manage a reasonable score in the end. Just over 19,000. That was Rock 6-4, Gridrunner. Jeff created the VIC-20 game Gridrunner, which will become his first big international hit in just 1 week. A hardcore twist on the gameplay formula of Centipede with a science fiction flair. Gridrunner played at a furious speed and included zappers along with screen access that would swiftly neutralize a distracted player. That's Gridrunner. The VIC-20. This is playable as well. You move up, you move down, you move left, you move right, and you fire. Original instructions included. Men 4. Might be better with a keyboard. But we're zapped. This fast. I was wondering what happens when you shoot the symbols on the... We're zapped. Men, 0. And there it is. Working my way through the hairy years right now, and to be continued. See you next time.